So my base in Singapore was the Habit Carter, this beautiful 1920s building that had just been renovated. I woke up early in the morning because of jet lag, I guess, and didn't know where to go. I had a day to explore before the conference, so I set off early and eventually wound up in Chinatown. As you can see, it's absolutely deserted because it's about 5:30 in the morning, local time. I also found many of these temples, and these temples absolutely fascinated me. In this one, I actually took off my shoes and went in and did some meditation and what have you, but I didn't feel any particular special atmosphere there. I don't know why, I just didn't. Maybe too many people around. But quite a strange looking place with all of these statuettes piled on top of one another, and very interesting to see. From there, I discovered the Chinese malls and even security in the form of a robot, which I'd never seen before and quite fascinating. But what security this robot is adding, I have no idea. But these malls were everywhere and seemed to have themes, like one would be furniture, another electronics, another massage and travel and food. But food was everywhere. Everywhere in Chinatown was food, 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 and more food. I don't know how these restaurants survive. Surely people don't eat that much, but food everywhere. And this first day, I was absolutely just amazed by the sights, the sounds, everything that I was seeing and hearing. And I actually walked over 28 kilometers on that first day, just wandering around Chinatown. Everywhere were different types of food outlets. Like I just said, I could not understand how so many restaurants and food places could be around. The other thing were all the massage places where the young girls would scream, massage sir, every time you went past, which after a while became quite annoying. I did have some massages. They were really good, particularly the feet massage, the foot massage, which I'd never had before and really enjoyed. But I didn't need a massage every 5 minutes, and so these girls began to annoy me a little bit. I ventured on into the evening and wandered into more of the upmarket business district. This area reminded me of Houston, or parts of Houston, downtown, the Woodlands, that kind of thing. Lots and lots of restaurants and bars and places to sit and have fun. Really a very, very nice place indeed. And I did spend some time there with friends. Now back to the hotel, first evening, 1920s building, oldest elevator in Singapore. And this is one of those where you get in and have to handle the doors, and then this ornate wooden lift takes you up to my floor. And I just thought it was really interesting to have such an old and ornate lift or elevator in the hotel. Actually, it was rather slow and difficult to use, so I started to use the stairs instead after a while. The next day, I went back into Chinatown and started to look up. And when I looked up, I started to see all these architectures and all these colors and all these interesting buildings with other buildings sort of over the top of them in the background. So you had this contrast between these wonderful 1890s, 1920s architectural buildings, and then the high-rise, 2,000 plus buildings in the background, and also in some streets, these covers. Another mall. I couldn't get over the malls. There was just so many malls, mall after mall after mall after mall. All of these high-rise buildings all the way down the street, all malls in the first couple of floors and into the basement, with food courts and restaurants everywhere. Absolutely amazing. And then chickens wandering around in the street, even by these restaurants. How the chickens survived, I have no idea, but I kept seeing these chickens actually in the street. My hotel was just about 10 meters away from the Maxwell food area, and here it is, row upon row upon row of these small outlets for all kinds of different foods and drinks, and very cheap, very cost effective. 6 Singapore dollars, you could eat your fill. And I had several meals here. The food was excellent, as was the environment and the atmosphere. On the last day, I went out to Little India, and I have to say I was not impressed with this area. Very dirty, very run down, it seemed to me. But still, interesting architecture. Again, lots of food outlets everywhere, and also an outdoor meat market, which you could smell some distance away. People chopping chickens and bits of meat, and butchers in full work environment right there in the market. Very, very interesting indeed. But again, I gravitated to Chinatown and the business district because I found Little India just a little bit too weird for my tastes. And back to my hotel, where I rested and looked forward to another day sightseeing and doing business in Singapore.